I just spent the weekend in Atlanta with maybe there were like 150 people at a chiropractic seminar. Really, the intention of it was to teach chiropractors how to trust and come from a place of openness and integrity with their craft. Basically, the teachers, Eric Rubin and Katina Manning, were offering permission to explore the boundaries that we so tightly get wrapped up into, right? How do you push the boundaries appropriately and with integrity to further and deepen your skills as a chiropractor? And my job was to show up and share about how to do that with systems in the practice. And here's what I learned. And this came off of a week of being in Arizona with my coaches. I learned that I need to remind our community, chiropractors, NDs, PTs, all of us, that there are no shortcuts, that running a successful practice and running a successful life takes work. We're all going to fall down. We're all going to get back up, and the opportunity to do it differently the next time we go around is that's where the pearls are. So the lessons that we offer in Staffless Practice Academy are really intended to save you the time of the mistakes that I've made, of my falls and my lessons learned and my experiences earned. And I put those lessons in front of you in a creative, kind, one-click solution, excuse me, kind of way, so that you can project forward from the stuff that I had to figure out. So let's back up a minute. If we don't already know each other, my name is Dr. Jody Dinnerman, and I'm the founder and creator of All Things Staffless Practice. And I got to a point maybe 4 years ago where it became abundantly clear that it was time for me to figure out how to have the practice of my dreams without having any team members in the office with me while I was doing that, for many reasons. And I got really good at it. I discovered my lane of genius with this thing. And then overnight, the pandemic hit and all of my friends lost their staff, and they started reaching out to me, asking me how to do this and how to do that. And that was the pivotal moment where I recognized that we had something to teach, we being me and my angels and my guides and all of the teachers who have taught me. I grabbed them. I grabbed this teacher on first visit. I grabbed this teacher on money stuff. I grabbed this teacher on discounting. I grabbed this teacher on marketing. I grabbed this teacher on Instagram. And I recorded a ton of content. And that was the birth of Staffless Practice Academy. And now we are that was in 2020, so we're in 2024, and we've got thousands of hours of content that's relevant to running a practice without staff. Or, the irony is these days people hire us with teams of 15, 20 people because they want each person on their team to be showing up at the office to be in their lane of genius. And that's something that I get super excited about. So what I wanted to do today is, because once a quarter, we have open enrollment in Staffless Practice Academy. And we open our doors, and my team is all hands on deck, and we are ready to receive new clients. We offer bonuses, we offer discounts, we do the whole thing, but it only happens once a quarter. And today is actually the last day of that. And we actually pushed it open for an additional 48 hours because a lot of you were quite frankly pissed off that you missed the window. So this is the last day of open enrollment, and I want to put in front of you what your options are to enjoy what we do. I just want to make sure that I'm with you guys on Facebook to see if you have any questions coming in. If you do have questions, my group advisor, Andrea, who is a unicorn, she's amazing. She's watching this live with us and she can drop any answers that you're looking for. So I recognize that people come to our world wanting to grow their practice immediately because there's a financial hardship. I get it. I also get that people come to our world wanting to fire their staff or hire somebody new because there's a time hardship. I totally get it. I also know for sure that there is a rhythm to the madness, that if you do these things before you do these things, those things are going to be a lot more effective. So often what I'll do when somebody gets on my calendar to discover how we can help is I'll start with very specific questions to understand where they are in that trajectory. So what I want to do is I just want to share my screen here. Hold on, I just got to get a picture up. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen. So what we did is we discovered what's called the 12-step program for Staffless Practice Academy, and it basically addresses issues around efficiency and joy being lost in practice. Kind of like a 12-step program for addiction, but this is a 12-step program for misery in practice. And what we found is that step one has to start with the foundation of preparing for success. What's your vision? What are your values? What's your mission? Who are you serving? How are you serving them? Giving you the tools and the platforms, both online tools and emotional tools, spiritual tools, physical tools. We might even look at your nutrition picture if that's an obstacle in your way. And then I have people who, on my end of the computer, who are nutrition experts who we match you with, and we have you do a couple of sessions with them to get on the path that you need to get on so that you can move from step one to step two. Step two looks like physical space. It looks like you sending us a video of your practice, of the space in the practice, and giving you suggestions to flip things around or take things out or add things in to make your systems more efficient, to create what we call client help yourself areas. Once that's done and your client help yourself areas, which are going to be different for every type of practice, it depends on who you're serving and it depends on how you want to serve them. So best that you start at step one to prepare on figuring out the answer to those questions. Who are you serving and how are you serving them? Step three is we take a look at time. How are you spending your time in the office? How are you spending your time on the office? How are you spending your time outside of the office? What needs to shift? What's no longer serving you, your family, or your practice members? Then we get into the communication systems of a healthy practice, a texting platform, a phone solution to point to the texting platform, and an email solution. The email solution is usually more words and more descriptions and more details, more links. The texting is usually a by the way comment, like Sally, you left your umbrella at the office. The email would be, Sally, here's the care plan I'm recommending for you based on what your findings were today. The phone would point Sally to getting the admin solutions that she needs when she calls. The phone does not get answered. So those 6 steps are our practice efficiency program. It's called SPA-TRI, Staffless Practice Academy Trimester. It's a 12-week program, and there are versions of it that are done for you, where we do all of the building and the heavy lifting, or there's a by you program where we show you how to do it. Either one of those programs comes with our accountability program, which we will ensure that what you signed up to do, you will get done. You will have an accountability coach. You meet with them as much as you need to. You'll have coaching sessions in a group setting with me. You'll have a checklist of things that you need to get done week 1, week 2, and so on and so forth. Every once in a while, we have somebody come into our world who says, I just want you to give me your content. I don't want to be bothered. And we do have a DIY version of SPA-TRI It's a year long. You get access to all of our content for a year. That's in Spa Try. We leave you alone. You dive in, you can binge watch all of it. And that's our instant access program. So the promise of the first 6 steps is that you'll never have to answer your phone again unless you want to. If you follow my lead and you do all of the things from step 1 to step 6, you will not have to answer your phone again unless you want to. Then once that is solved and you are good to go, right? That's the work and you're good to go. You're going to start looking at organization, what checklists need to be involved in the new patient experience and shopping for the office, and what you do on Monday, what you do on Tuesday, what your front desk person does on Saturday mornings. All of that is in our organized step. Also building an SOP for your practice, so that if you wanted to let go of your practice or share your practice down the road, you can literally hand somebody a book or a file. And all of the ways that you do your thing are in that book or file. That's step 7. You can't do that unless you do the first 6 steps. You guys get it, right? Then we look at your new client system. What are you doing with new clients? How are you greeting your new practice members? What's the first thing that they see when they go to your website? That's where, what do you do from the first time they see your name until they say yes to care? That's step 8. You cannot do step 8 unless you have steps 4, 5, and 6 nailed down, dialed in. Then we look at growth, growing from the inside of the practice and growing from the outside of the practice. You cannot scale your practice unless you have solid communication platforms for it, unless you're receiving people in a healthy way, right? Unless you've looked at your stuff, unless you've fallen down and gotten back up and put the pieces together. You don't want to greet people into your practice until you figure those things out. A lot of our people will actually come to us saying, I want to grow my practice right now. And then my first question would be, tell me what communication systems you have for practice members. And usually they say, well, I text from my phone every once in a while, and I'm calling people mostly. And I say, let's start there. Let's start with Spa Try. Let's not scale until we have those pieces down. Then we get into, a lot of our clients like to build online programs. They might want to have a membership club to their practice if that's allowed in your area. They might want to offer coaching programs that are just online. They might want to write a book. They might want to write a course. They might want to create a membership program on Facebook. All of that is step 11. And then step 12 is wise counsel, and that's when we look at hiring. Wise counsel are all of the people who are going to have their hands on what you're creating, their hearts on what you're creating. And they're doing their lane of genius with what part that's relevant to them. A lot of people will start asking about step 12. Jody, I need to hire staff. My staff just quit. And I'll start by saying, tell me about your communication systems. Tell me about who you're serving, how you're serving them, and why you're serving them. We start at step 1. We make sure that all of the boxes are checked so that when it is time to hire staff, they're walking into a system that's ready to go. Sometimes if we get to step 7, that might be the time to hire staff. We might flip step 12 and step 7 because you might want to have somebody build your SOP for you. Okay, so those are the 12 steps. And if somebody comes into our world and they say, I really need to grow my practice, and they say yes to the first 6 steps, then we'll start them in our graduate program, which is called Scale. Usually that's not the case. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to check in with you guys to see if there are any questions. It doesn't look like there are. So here's what we're offering right now. It's actually through today. I'm just going to take a bite of my yogurt because it looks really good. Today was my first day back from being away for a week. I went to the gym and it hurt. It definitely hurt. So I'm hungry. What we're offering today is the last day. And if you're interested in this, just comment below and we'll make sure Andrea she'll reach out to you. Either more time in our program, more services in our program, or more content in our program. We also, effective tomorrow, our fees go up. So this is the window, you guys. And even if you are not sure and you want to start in a couple of months, this is still the window to grab your seat so that it's saved. The most common question is, when does it start? It starts when you say go. So if you purchase your Spa Try seat today, you can start it in 2 months if that resonates with you. You could start it tomorrow if that resonates with you. And your coach will be ready to receive you. The other question that comes up is, what are my fees? That's a big one. And I can tell you this to answer that question. Most coaching programs today in chiropractic, in PT, in OT, in marketing are somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 a year. I can tell you that my program is not that high. I can also tell you that our fee starts at $89 a month and it goes up to about 18,000, really depending, 18,000 total, really depending on what your practice needs. So what we did is we figured out, if someone is building a texting platform, an email platform, all of the things, they might need an EHR. They might need a new website. They might need spreadsheets. They might need new business cards. All of those are things that my team can build for you. We've brought in the Wise Counsel for branding. We've brought in the Wise Counsel for Instagram. We brought in the Wise Counsel for building websites. All of that is available to you in our world. Okay. I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions or you want our team to reach out to you today to jump on what we're offering, please comment below. And we're right here on the other side of the computer. And as always, go make the world better with great care. Okay, guys, have a good one.